All right, all right. Testing on the audio. Testing. Y'all let me know if the audio is good. Cool. DeMarcus, you must got a new account. What's good, Ali, SG, Golson, Emmanuel? Rado, what's up with you? Yes, sir. We got some stuff to discuss today, people. We got some good stuff to discuss. Courtesy, shout out to DeMarcus. He sent me those other synopsis. Those are the descriptions to these episodes. I had them for like what 2-3 days now, but doing a couple of other stuff. Yeah, I actually got another YouTube channel. It's a world history anime channel. So yeah, I've been working on that giant. I was just working on it before I came on here. So we're gonna give it. I guess we'll give it another minute and a half, 2 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. What up, Rana?
It's past my bedtime. It's past my bedtime.
Yeah, it's 11:30 there. I don't plan on being up too long, maybe 2 hours top. Yeah, let me. Hold on. I'll send a link to the new channel. I'm never gonna go live on that one though. It's not for live. It's just me sharing information, and it's actually quite easy, and it's a good one. It draws a lot of attention very quickly. Like I already got nearly 200 subscribers, and I only had it for 2 days.
What is it again?
It's like an animated version of world history.
Have
What
you
up,
have you
bro?
seen them? Have you seen them Lego videos from Iran?
I seen a couple of them, not a whole lot, but a couple.
The music is pretty good.
Uh huh.
I think the person rapping is AI.
They say they got it's another one from Africa.
Mm.
Africa got one too.
That's a good way to learn some history because it be facts.
Yeah. So this is the link to the new Paris Brian. What's good? I ain't seen you in a minute. But yeah, that's a link to the animated channel. Who is Jackson?
In my ass.
What? What the fuck was that? Hey, this is why I gotta stop just letting everybody else, bro. Who the hell was that? See, this is why I be having these restrictions, bro. I'm glad niggas be coming big on this weird shit. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyways, though, yeah. So that's the link to the anime channel. You feel me? We better go ahead and get started on this. Oh, I've been good, Paris. How you been? Hold on, what is that? How did you put? Hold on, I didn't know you could do some shit like that. This nigga shared his grade. But anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on this first thing, which is Breeze killing Marvin. So I did a video on that. What was that? Yesterday, going on 2 days now. That video has been out. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. But as
What is
we,
that background noise? What's something that?
that's Joe got that background noise. But so if you haven't checked that video out yet, though, y'all, I advise you go ahead and check the video out. But basically, we're discussing the possibility of Breeze taking out Marvin. So one thing I think is for certain, it's like basically it's no way they can avoid this. Breeze would have to take a major character off the board. He wouldn't be Breeze without it. So he has to take if not more than one. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he takes out more than one, but for sure he has to take out at least one major character. Now it's gonna be a big body that everybody's gonna synchronize with, everybody's gonna, you know, love, and he's gonna take them out. So Breeze might be that love, have some of that love hate type stuff going on, and a lot of people, including myself, is suspecting that it's gonna be Marvin. I know earlier, prior to the trailer, a lot of people were saying like they were saying Unique, and he could end up taking out Unique too. But I remember I was saying I believe Unique is going to be Kanan's kill. Everybody else was saying Breeze. Nah, I think Kanan gets him, and then Breeze will get Marvin. And we seen in the trailer of Breeze shooting a machine gun, and Marvin firing back. Now, granted, the trailers are tricky. They could be manipulating us to believe that this is Breeze and Marvin in a shootout, and it could be two totally different things. So that is a possibility. But the main thing now that's because when folks was first saying that, I wasn't too convinced. I was like, it could be because you know how these trailers be with them tricking stuff. But once Shamik Moore said what he said on The Crew Has It, that's when I was like, yeah, I think that's what it is. And then the craziest part, he really didn't say anything, but it was what he didn't say that pretty much let you know everything that you needed to know.
Mm.
So, is everybody familiar with what I'm talking about right
Yeah, I am.
now? Okay, great. Anybody in the chat unfamiliar?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that interview though. I don't know. It was kind of.
You watched the whole thing?
Uh, I think I did.
Yeah, they covered a lot more of his career as an actor, more so than what probably majority of the people that was watching wanted to hear. Because majority of the people watching really wanted to hear the Breeze aspect. What was it like portraying Breeze? What can we expect? All of that. They didn't really touch on that. But still though, I do think that's probably the biggest part of the interview was Chris Lauthan, aka Jannard. He was co-hosting with Gianni for that particular episode, and he asked Shamik do you have any scenes with um, London Brown, aka Uncle Marvin? And they didn't even show his face. Like the camera just cuts back to Gianni and Chris, and Chris and Gianni just started laughing. For those of y'all that don't know who Gianni is the actor that plays Braden. But they just started laughing. So it's almost as if he gave a gesture of like, yeah, I gotta sing with that nigga. And you can just tell I'm the one that I'm gonna hit this nigga's last thing. That's how it seemed. But for those of y'all that haven't seen it, I'm gonna just share it very quickly for you. For the people that ain't seen the interview, it's a very short clip for those of y'all that haven't seen it, so that you can be familiar with what I'm talking about.
Somebody said it looked cut.
It was cut. I said that in the video. It absolutely was cut because what I think happened is Shamik may have said something to that kind of get was a giveaway, and they cut it.
Mm.
Like there are certain things I can't grow to it, and the audience can't grow to it with me either because of
Okay, this is not the one. My bad. This is that's the other one.
But that's important what he's saying right
Yeah,
there.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that right after this. I agree. That's important as well.
I can't grow to it, and the audience can't grow to it with.
Ain't that a bitch said the same thing twice?
3 seasons. Okay. I prefer it that way though. I like to. Don't get me wrong. There's a comfortability with like a show that goes 7 seasons. I'm sure financially. Right. But on the other hand, it's like you get, you know what I mean. And I'm way too like. You know what I
Oh,
mean? I don't know. I'm like,
actually the first one was the right one. I'm tripping. It was the right one. I had to listen to it to actually know. But yeah, this is the right one. My bad again, they bad niggas.
can't I can't grow to it, and the audience can't grow to it with me either because of I don't want to talk too much.
Because of everything, y'all understood. Did you have any scenes with London Brown, Uncle Marvin?
You know what we'll do? We'll do if you're down. We'll have you back on after all the episodes air. I could fucking talk to you for 4 hours.
That's right.
And then we could kind of
Now y'all see how they responded to this? Clearly there was a cut here.
Yeah.
Clearly. He said something that kind of was indicating that, hey, I put that nigga down. I can almost guarantee you. So where we see Breeze firing off that machine gun, that might be the death scene of Marvin. I've been good, just busy with school. I was stopping by. Okay, what you in school for? Paris. Breeze will eliminate Phil Russo and set his body on fire to get rid of the evidence. Possibly. I got Breeze taken out as well. Unique if it was to come to Unique getting killed. He could be.
It would have to be late in the season though.
Yeah, Unique makes it to at least episode 5. We know that for sure.
No, I'm talking about Marvin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Marvin's out episode 7. That's my prediction for him. He's out episode 7. Wait, what was Joe sharing his I thought that gun Breeze had was the Tony Montana Scarface gun. If Breeze eliminate Marvin, Jukebox would never forgive Kanan, especially if he's still working with Breeze. Hey, Shamik Morris said he watched OG Power and then stopped, then said he had to get back into it. Yeah. You are already a moderator, dude. What are you talking about, DeMarcus? I'm sitting here looking at the ranch on you. Yeah, unless you're talking about your other account. Breeze eliminate Marvin. Jukebox would never forget. Okay, you just said that. That's the part made me think he revealed his fate this season. Yeah, yeah. Both Thomas brothers can't survive in the end. One of them has to go. Well, the way this looking, both Thomas brothers is gonna be gone. What you mean? See motion. What's good, my boy?
So what was the point of the diamonds and pearls?
Who knows? Who knows? He could have something to set up Juke. Maybe that was her getaway present to get to DC. It could have been how what he did with it,
Hmm.
or it could be a pump fake. It could be should they have a major shootout, but Marvin doesn't die and he survives it. He ends up leaving. I mean, we don't know for sure, but I must say it's certainly looking like it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this other one as well, the other clip, because this one is also important. I made a video. I released a video earlier today regarding this as well.
Three seasons.
Okay.
I prefer it that way though. I like to. Don't get me wrong. There's a comfortability with like a show that goes 7 seasons. I'm sure financially.
Right.
But on the other hand, it's like you get, you know what I
Stuck in
mean.
there.
And I'm way too like, you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm gonna throw a kick. I'm gonna throw an arm. I'm gonna headbutt. I don't want to just use my right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like range is important. You know what I mean? And we all gonna feel that as we continue. You know what I mean? Comfortability financially is dope, but doing shit like this is doper to me. It's like film and television where it's going. There's only gonna be a couple of us on like the page.
Okay, so really quick, what I took from this is almost, I would say I'm at, and I hate to say this, I would say I'm at probably 60%, maybe even higher now. That's leaning towards Breeze would only be here one season for a multitude of reasons. So, for one thing, um, it's a couple of things he said in this interview. He said that when he was cast for the role of Breeze, it was offer only. So for those of y'all that's not familiar with offer only, that's basically when the actor doesn't have to audition. They're offering you the role without an audition. Like pretty much the big time actors, that's what it is. Like anytime you see Denzel, Will Smith, actors of that caliber, Samuel L. Jackson, um, for some of the women, um, Viola Davis, Angela Bassett, they're offer only. They don't audition anymore. Like they've reached a point of their career where they're so well known that you just know, okay, this person is good for this role. They don't have to audition. I know what they bring to the table. So, so that's what Shamik was for Breeze. And he said they sent it to him by email, and basically, they got back with him, and it ended up getting done. So that lets me know that they valued him that much that they didn't even open it up for casting. They just knew who they wanted for it. So the fact that they're valuing him that much, he also probably can demand a pretty big buck for that role. Although he's only 11 on the call sheet. And another thing that it tells me is that with him being worth that much, they shortened it to 8 seasons. And then he just told you here that he likes when it comes to TV being in a series and it's only like 3 seasons. And the reason being is because he's not binded to a series for too long. He's able to go and spread his wings at a and swing at another role opposed to just being like Michael Rainey right now. Nothing against his career, big ups to the brother and stuff like that. But he's been doing power for so long that everywhere he goes, people are gonna look at him as Tariq. That's the truth. Not saying that he can't get other roles. I hope he does, you know. But it's just for us, the people, most people are gonna, no matter where he goes, you're gonna look at him as Tariq. Shit, even Amari Hogwarts, he's dealing with that right now. He, he's getting other roles and stuff like that, but the truth is, most of us as the fan, we can't unsee Ghost. So Shamik is saying he rather do it for a few, whatever the role is, do that for a few seasons top and keep it moving. So that lets me know here that he probably is only agreeing to do Breeze for a season and then go ahead and they wipe him out. Because keep in mind, Origins, look at the time period that Origins starts in. That's past, Breeze expiration date. Now, granted, it did say 90s and 2000s, so that still gives us a window that they could give us him in flashbacks, which I'm still hoping for because I just don't think I could be truly satisfied with just one season of Breeze.
Unless episode 8 is just all about setting up origins. That might be your time jump.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what it's
That
looking
would be a
like.
time jump to have a 16 or 17-year-old James St. Patrick to
Uh,
kill him, or else we're not going to see his death.
so if we're not going to see his death, I believe he's going to be in Origins. It's coming down to. What I believe. I believe if we see the death, then obviously no Origins. But if it ends up being at the very end he gets killed, or they end up rolling it out in the post credits or something like that, more than likely he's going to be in Origins. But yeah, so as far as the young 17, 16, 17-ish year old Ghost and Tommy, they could keep the same actors from Origins to do it. All they got to do is completely clean shave them, give them the flashback lens for to make it them look younger, and they could still do that role because they look young enough that you can pull off. He can be that he can be a 17-year-old. You can pull that out. But obviously the age range of what they supposed to be in the current timeline of Raising Canaan, they can't pull that out. So um hopefully, like I said, hopefully they go ahead and let him do a season. Like he could do one season of Origins, honestly. And that at least give us 3 seasons of them. Because with it being the 18 episodes, it'll be basically 3 seasons. I'm so intrigued in Breeze and a unique storyline this season. I don't know. Am I really looking forward to that storyline like that? I mean, I haven't really thought about them two. Me personally.
Unique and Breeze.
Yeah, not sure. You are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, Unique is one of my favorite characters anyway. So
Mine
I'm
too, but
he's gonna end up. It would make sense if well we know Snap and Pops want to get rid of him eventually.
uh-huh.
From the you haven't got to these synopsis yet, but
Which is
it's
why another reason I think Kanan is going to be the one to end up taking them out. Well, actually, I mean, Breeze could end up doing it because it's his uncles and uncle or auntie tell him, yeah, it's time for that nigga to go. But we see somebody that Kanan has on the ground that's clearly looks like it's in the same place that Unique and Breeze was having they little looks like some kind of tensions was going on there. You know the photo I'm talking about, right?
mm-hmm.
So you see another photo of Kanan holding somebody at gunpoint in what looked like to be that same room. But one thing that I am looking forward to, I don't know why everybody else, y'all might not, care too much, but for me, I look forward to seeing just to see the inside of Bree's apartment. Just seeing him in his apartment. Because we've been looking for that damn apartment for so long that I just want to see it. I got Tremont eliminating Rock or Marvin because they left him alive as soon. Okay, yeah. Could come back to be some truth to it. Jukebox or Marvin will eliminate Crank and Primo. I don't know why you think that and why that's so important. You keep saying it, but
I don't know
Crank.
why Jukebox would do it. They could get killed in the war.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was gonna get to. What would make Jukebox take them? No, I think because I heard somebody say, and I believe they got this from Getting It How I Live. Somebody say that Jukebox is going to take out Detective Garcia, and that's what they're talking about, the risky thing that she's going to do uh, to try to protect the family in episode 3. I'll give that a better chance than Jukebox taking out Crank and Primo. I just don't see the reason for it.
And we're supposed to see why it was so easy for Kanan to kill her
Right.
20 some years later.
So here's something crazy. I didn't make a video on it because I couldn't connect the dots yet, but it was a thought. What if a situation ended up happening where Jukebox kills Rock? That would absolutely give him some kind of because he might let it go at the time because I could see something going on where Kanan does something that kills um that either kill Marvin or gets Marvin killed, right? And then Jukebox out of rage could, depending on how the situation happened, could get mad, pops Rock, and be like, now we even. And on some Diana's type shit. And if that happens, Kanan might be like, I mean, technically she right, we even, but that shit fucked up. And that could be the reason why they were. Let's say this happens while Ghost and Tommy and them is around, and they be like, man, that's why they refer to him as a crazy bitch, her as a crazy bitch.
I mean, it's plausible, but I wouldn't want to see her kill Rock.
I wouldn't either, and I honestly don't think it's gonna happen. But I was just thinking on it. Like I said, I couldn't connect the dots enough to make a video on it. Because me, unlike a lot of the other people, I don't just make videos just to make videos. Like they know good damn well more than likely this shit ain't gonna happen, but they just doing it to hope it hits some numbers and they can get paid out of it. But me, if the shit don't make sense, I'm not gonna put it out there. I believe that as well. I don't think he'll be in Origins also. At least not season one. The timing doesn't add up. A lot he said in the interview, if you can read it in between the lines. Chewy Boy probably got Breeze role on the spot because of his role in Wu-Tang. Yeah, that's absolutely what it was. I thought he would be in Origins and they would do a Yellow Jackets type of format. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Yellow Jackets thing. Yeah, Raising Cannon will be back on the 12th of June.
Yeah, I put that in the chat.
Well, DeMarcus, I said it was a reach. So, I mean, you say some bullshit that be reaching all the time. And the thing is, I'll say if I don't have nothing that can back what I'm saying, like no kind of proof, I'll say this is just me, some theory I might have, but I not necessarily that what I'm gonna happen. You'll keep repeating your bullshit over and over, and that should be dead wrong. I'm like, but this shit don't make no damn sense.
So we're gonna put Marvin dying in episode 7. So Jukebox gonna have to go crazy in episode 8.
Yeah, depending on they could do episode 8 like I said, they could extend it.
I
They
don't
could
think they're extending nothing.
they might. I think it'll make more sense for them to extend it because you don't have to pay them extra for extending it, but you have to pay them extra for another episode. So if you extend it, you can get more of that story out and still keep it at the same price. But I think maybe half of it could be in the present, and then they give you that time jump for half of it as well. Kind of like what Snowfall did for their finale. If you're familiar with Snowfall, I think Ronald, you haven't seen it yet, but
I didn't get past second season.
yeah. So for the finale of Snowfall, they did the aftermath of after Sizzy took out Teddy. Franklin was, you know, going crazy, trying his best to get some more money. V ended up leaving them and stuff like that, and you could gradually see him becoming a drop. He drinking his life away. Then that was in what? I think that was 86. And then they do a flashback of 5 years. You get to 91. And now Franklin is a drunk, bomb, looking bad and all that. Years have passed. So we could end up getting that. Half of it, aftermath of the death of Marvin, Rock, whatever happens to Rock. Like I said, I don't think she's dead now at this point. I think she's gonna just leave the South Side. because uh, she's not gonna have anything left because she's gonna lose the war. Marvin's gonna die. Lou is already gone. She done lost her son basically as well. So at this point, she's gonna be like, "Yeah, it's nothing left for me here." So that's possibly where we end up getting that line from Breeze saying, "Now that your mother's out the game, everybody else needs to get the fuck out the way." Yeah, I am curious though. What make? I mean, we everybody's suspecting that it's going to be the death of Marvin that go makes it go crazy, but could be something else. I can't wait to see Kanan's reaction when he finally figure out he's been dumb as fuck this whole time. Because I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen once all the damage he's done. It's gonna be too late to take any of it back. But let's go ahead and head to episode 4 synopsis. I can barely see this shit, so I don't know from here. I think this is for here though. Yeah. Okay. Let me move this shit real quick because I can't really read like that. Wrap this up. All right. So for episode 4, we got. Don't give us the title of the episode, but the description says, "With total war now inevitable, the Thomas family must make painful sacrifices to survive Canaan and Breeze's ruthless expansion." That's kind of interesting.
Okay. The Thomas family.
Must take.
Rock Marvin and Jukebox.
Could be. I mean, I would suspect because how I've always looked at it is initially Jukebox is going to be neutral. She's going to be on the peaceful shit. You know, she wants to keep the family together, and you know she wants them to just get along and stuff like that. But Kanan's not having it, and after the death of Lou, Marvin ain't having it either. I think you know, obviously with Kanan being Rock's son, she could forgive him and try to get past it. But Marvin is like, hell nah, you ain't getting away with that. So I'm curious too with the beatdown because the beatdown probably happened like episode 2 or 3, and when Kanan when Marvin beats his ass, does he just beat him down really good and just let him go? Does somebody pull him off him? What ends up happening there? I'm pretty sure it's safe to say Breeze didn't pull him off him because Breeze crazy as they making this nigga to be. He would have just shot Marvin right then and there. So it might have been a situation where Marvin just beat him good and let him go. But anyways, though, the Thomas family must make painful sacrifices. What is the sacrifice that they could possibly be making that, you know, to withstand this ruthless expansion that they're speaking of, that Canaan and Breeze has going on?
The synopsis to episode 3, is that the one that talked about them working with Stefano and Snap and Pop and all them?
Yeah, said yeah. Yeah, that's 3. I think it is. Is it a 3 or a 2?
See, I want to see them be gotten rid of.
Snaps and Pop?
Yeah, but when would that happen?
My guess would be like episodes. What would make the most sense probably uh a 6 or 7 probably.
And see, but see here you got, okay, you got 5 people, 5 characters right there working together.
Uh-huh.
2 episodes later is Kanan and Breeze. You got Rock and Marvin right there.
Uh-huh.
2 episodes later, you got the Thomas family. They writing it that way for a reason.
Well, I think they're writing it right there just to keep from giving anything away. But I think it's safe to say. But I'm trying to remember, do they name any of, because I briefly like just skimmed through the synopsis that we've been given, the 4 through 7. I didn't really look at them like that. Just kind of glanced at them. But the sacrifice here, anybody want to take a swing at what that sacrifice could be? TK, you ain't seen none of them. Hey, well, you about to see them now.
Must make painful sacrifices. So it's more than one sacrifice to survive. That's the key too.
So here's the one that been floating around. And I think that at this point, I can't think anything else that it could be. The painful sacrifice more than likely would be leaning towards. You remember when we first seen the trailer and we seen Rock shooting somebody, and the moment I saw it, I said that's the same place they was holding Trayvon at. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So who is Trayvon linked to? He's linked to Rock's plug Hafiz. So the problem is, let's go back to episode 2. It says Stefano goes into business with Snaps, Pop, Breeze, and Kanan. So the key here is Stefano. Stefano is the only one in Breeze and Kanan's operation that actually knows Hafiz, right? Because they met together. So with that being said, more than likely that sacrifice is going to be Rock having to take out Hafiz because um, Stefano is going to make a pitch to get some product from him, and she's trying to take out their pipeline. So even though that would hurt her as well, you know, they they go ahead and take that risk because they like, hey, we can't afford to let Breeze them get their product from the same person. They already powerful enough. But if we can take their pipeline away from them, we can take some of their strength away. And that would probably be what leads to. Give me a 1 second. I'm thinking that's what ends up leading to this right here. They next person that they got to come up with is going to probably be Flossie. She's probably going to be another connect that Kanan and Breeze is going to end up approaching because Hafiz is now off the board because Rock them took him out. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that's the sacrifice.
Somebody tried to say that hand was jukebox, but I don't. Them,
No, you remember when we had this big,
her nails look too feminine there, so I would.
and I said that was a white hand, and y'all were trying to tell me it wasn't.
I wouldn't.
Somebody was, and I was like, bro, that's definitely a white hand. They were like, nah, that looks like a light skinned hand or something like that. Dark, because you were saying it was Pop, I believe, and I was like, no, bro, that's a white hand.
I might have. It could be pop.
And I was like, no,
But then when you see Flossie in another picture, it looks like the same hands.
exactly. I'm pretty sure that's Flossie now. Now, obviously, when we first saw it, I didn't think it was Flossie because her character hasn't been introduced yet. I just knew it was a white hand. I actually thought initially that it was what's her name? Sal Busali's wife,
Teresa.
Teresa. That's who I thought it was at first.
And if she gonna be in Origin, she got to have something to do with this season.
Yeah, that's another thing. We definitely got to put in what is her part in all of it. That's definitely something that should be discussed. She has to have something significant. Now we know she got some kind of plug with the New Jersey people because she got, she had pulled due to Sal.
Didn't she get unique in with Russo?
Did she
She,
what?
she made she gave unique that connection to Russo, right?
Yeah, yeah, she did.
And she would definitely have some issues with Marvin and Rock
Hmm.
because of her son and her husband.
Correct. What's good with you, Hezzy?
Because they're gonna be fighting several wars. Okay.
Demarcus, yo little glad don't listen at all, bro. I swear you don't. You just be talking, nigga. And then you be the main one in the comment section saying you just yapping. Nigga, you be the main one yapping. Because I clearly said at the beginning of this shit that what's been floating around, I didn't say this is what I came up with. I said what has been said. I even mentioned getting how I live earlier. And then I said, after wrecking my brain, I didn't come up with nothing else either. That more than likely that could be the case, the sacrifice, because I initially saw the same location and was thinking, okay, why did they bring somebody else to that same location? More than likely, it could be Hafiz because Hafiz is linked to um, Straight Money. And then you saying it don't make no sense, you goddamn fool. It says sacrifice, a painful sacrifice. That's the sacrifice. You like you about to baby sleep go into you on you because you're not even paying attention. It's saying sacrifice, nigga. Think about that. Sacrifice is a sacrifice because what is a sacrifice? Meaning you're gonna take a loss, they're gonna take a loss. She's sacrificing her plug, but she's cutting them off. That's a painful sacrifice potentially. Now, am I saying 100% that's what's gonna happen? No, but like that absolutely does make some sort of sense. You said it was Flossie. Yeah, we both agreed that it was Flossie when we first seen them. But that this image here was put out there before Flossie's character was introduced. So that, like I said, I thought it was Teresa initially. Anyway, so I think that's a good. Let's go ahead and move on to episode 5. All right, so episode 5. Let's pull that one up. This is actually 2. My bad. My stuff's not in order. Not, and it's so small on my screen, I can't see it until I zoom in to tell which episode it is. So give me a minute. I'm gonna find episode 5. I believe this is 7 here. Wait, actually I think this one is 5. Yep, got it. All right, so episode 5. It says Unique fights to preserve his legacy and heritage amid the shifting power dynamics in Southside Jamaica, Queens. Now, more than likely, this is the the demise episode of Unique. More than likely, because the fact that he's the only one that they're talking about in the description is probably the last dance for him. And it's probably this is what I suspect in this episode. Okay, so Demarcus, answer this real quick. Why would Rock be looking for Trayvon? She in the middle of a war with her son and a bunch of dangerous ass motherfuckers. And she looking for Trayvon, nigga? That don't even make sense.
But I'm thinking we're gonna see him too, just like Teresa.
You said we're gonna see who? I'm sorry.
Draymond. I'm thinking we're gonna see him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna show up probably. But
He might be the one to take out Marvin.
But he's saying that's who that she's gonna be looking at. So hold on. So could the connection be that Tremont takes out Marvin and Rock goes looking for Tremont? So she ends up getting Abraham. That's what you're implying, Demarcus. I mean, me personally, I don't think that's gonna happen. But hey,
Now, Tremont knew Hafiz, right?
yes. And what I'm thinking is gonna happen potentially is Tremont is gonna get a higher position. That's the reason why he's in Origins. Keep in mind, he knows Hafiz. He's already embedded in their organization. So he might end up being a future plug. That's where his storyline kicks in. Not because he's gonna take out Marvin.
Is a
Because
plug and connect the same thing?
no. I mean sort of. Sort of running the same. Like a plug can be somebody like, somebody who just a regular nigga in the hood that have it. But the connect is like the nigga that everybody's getting it from.
And you might not even know them.
Right. That's the one that's higher up that you ain't gonna know.
So
Plug, you know the plug.
what's a distro? Is that what the Thomas family was? They the ones putting it on the street.
Yeah, yeah. Like the distro, it's like when it was Ghost and Tommy before Ghost gave Tommy the position that he gave Tommy. Tommy was sort of the distro. Like he was the face. People only knew of Ghost. That and of course Lobos was like an international supplier. But Ghost was sort of a distro too, I guess you could sort of say, because the real connect was Lobos. But yeah, distros is somebody that's higher up. Very few know, but for the most part, you ain't gonna really know who they are. Rock, see Rock. What she was doing was trying to become a connect, because connect is like she's the one that's getting, or he's the one that's getting all of the product, and everybody's buying. Like everybody from that area is buying from them. This role is like kind of the person that distributes that shit to everybody from the connect. Like kind of like what what's his name? Damn, Chris. I mean not shit. That Dre ended up backstabbing. What's that nigga name?
You the OG power expert.
I know it's so crazy. I can't think of his name right now. Julio. Shit. God damn. Julio. Julio was the distro. So
So
that's what you're saying, DeMarcus. Got you. But like I say, me personally, I just think um Tremont is gonna get a higher position. Not that he's gonna take out Marvin. Breeze has to take out somebody huge. And I think the only one big enough for Breeze to take out, because I don't think Rock is dying at all. Me personally, I think she's going to be left alone. So for Marvin to fall, it got to be somebody big to take out Marvin. Who else? Who's better fit than Breeze? My bad. Though. What you were about to say something?
no, I want to go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah. So unique. Back to the unique, because like they're covering him heavy in the description for episode 5. I su- I suspect, like I said, this is going to be the episode he's taken out, and also, I believe before he's taken out, Unique is gonna find out Rock didn't do a lot of the stuff that he was accusing her of doing. Before he breathed his last breath, he's gonna find that out. Whether it's from Jukebox, Vanessa, or whoever. And then he's probably also gonna figure out about they had that Rock was pregnant for him. And he's gonna feel bad for it, and he's gonna end up in his dying breath he's gonna get on Rock's side. And I could see Kanan and Unique working together prior to this. And once Unique finds this out, he's gonna try to tell Kanan, that Rock wasn't responsible for what he thought he was. And he might even try to convince Kanan that, hey, she might not be the one who did the shit that you think. And after that, Kanan decides, oh, okay, you gotta go. And then later he's gonna figure out that it was the Jew. Because right now, Kanan is a stupid kid at this point.
So are you just saying that Kanan will take out Unique?
I am saying Kanan is gonna be the one to take him out.
And this synopsis it has an interesting phrase too. I mean, clearly, I agree that this is the episode, but legacy and heritage. See, legacy is the future,
Mm-hmm.
and heritage is the past, where you came from.
Right. So, he's got remember at the end of because we gotta look at Unique's character arc. Like, look at the stuff Unique has done throughout um this show. He basically has already shown us that he's gonna live. He's gonna live and die in the South Side. He's not leaving. Queens is his home. That's where he's staying. So with that being said, keep in mind season 2 when they were all under attack when they wanted them to betray Rock and all that. The Bocelli said Unique refused to do so, even though they sort of were enemies then. So the same thing could come back in season 5, especially once he finds out the truth. And going back to the heritage part, at the end of the day, Rock from Queens, you from Queens. Y'all were the beginning. And now you got Breeze here, who ain't even from Queens, taking over. And he ain't going to be cool with that. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
Tony?
he's gonna have some emotion. Even in this picture, he looks um like he looks kind of worried or something. And then in that scene where he's holding Jerome, there's almost like tears in his eyes in that preview, that trailer.
Yeah. Tony Teresi could eliminate Marvin because Marvin beat down Tommaso too. Tommaso could come back for his ass, but like I said, I just think a big fish got to take out Marvin. It ain't gonna be no small time, motherfucker. Now, if they want to introduce Tony Teresi, maybe Tony Teresi would be the one to take out Phil Russo. I think you may have already said that too, Demarcus, if I'm not mistaken. That I think could land. Or he could be the one that takes out Stefano, perhaps. But I just think Marvin, nah. Mm-mm. Jukebox eliminated Unique. I'm not gonna say it's no chance of that, but that ain't what I see. But hey, it could happen like that. Jukebox is big enough to take out Unique, I think, and she hasn't gotten a big kill yet.
So, was it in a previous episode when Marvin was hunting Unique?
Yeah, that's episode 3 where it says he's hunting
Okay,
it.
so apparently he didn't get to him, but he was tearing up the tailor shop. So was all of that in retaliation for being shot at?
Could be. And keep in mind, I told y'all, I think it's possible, even though when I probably still lean towards the accident, but it's possible Unique has something to do with the death of Lou, or he doesn't, and Marvin thinks he has something to do with it. So he's going after him. Because it's going to be multiple wars going on during this time. Because, they said it in the trailer.
Hmm.
Marvin asked Rock, how many wars are you going to start? And she said, as many as we got to win, or something like that. What's good, Saru? Ethanio? Did someone already mention this? If they didn't, then maybe that scene with Breeze shooting in the trailer is Unique, not Marvin. Yeah, I mean it's a possibility. I don't think nobody said that, at least not in here
I
tonight.
do kind of think that little clip was a trick.
So what would happen to the Jersey Boys? So the Jersey Boys, that would be somebody. Obviously, that's the Unique's people. They had people. Well, Russo is off the board, so I know a couple of people, including Getting It How I Live, are predicting Akbar to be knocked out episode 2.
That's when
Uh,
Marvin is on a rampage.
I think that's three's description when he's looking for Unique. But that's 3. Oh, wait, hold on, because what did this one here say? No, that's 2. You're right. Sorry. So 2, he hunts for Unique. And so when on his journey to find Unique, he ends up running into Akbar and he takes him out. Am I bugging or does Jay Boogs from Power Origins look exactly like Mr. Power?
And then I'm just thinking too at the end of season 4, and we're gonna pick up the same night in episode 1. Unique was going crazy.
Uh-huh.
He was on a rampage. But he needed them. No, he needed them Jersey boys. That was really his army at that point. But they was really Russo's people, right?
Yeah, but like I mean, they might stay on board as long as Unique is able to pay them. But with Russo being off the board, he might have issues paying them.
Or they might have issues staying. See, I could see Unique in his current state of mind clicking and killing Akbar.
Could be.
Because that dude really don't work for Unique. He works for Russo. And every time Unique was talking crazy to somebody, he was right there watching and listening. Speaking of J Bugs, you think that is who Jerome is going to grow up to be?
Uh, could be. I mean, we got the J there. You think Kanan and Jukebox is the only one who makes it out of this season? Could be. Gonna be a bloody season for sure.
So if Kanan and Breeze is burning up somebody's supply, well, why would they burn it up instead of just taking it? Somebody somewhere had a theory that's what they burning up is somebody's supply.
I mean, it do make a more sense for them to take it, but I mean, you can also blow like you ain't. Let's say it's too much manpower, or it's too risky there for them to try to grab all of it and leave with it. It's just easier to just set it all on fire. I mean, keep in mind that's what Diamond and Tommy did in Force, and that's what Dre and Cristobal did in the original Power. So it's not the first time we've seen this. So, anyways, though, let's get episode 6 description. Kanan's transformation into the formidable, ruthless kingpin he becomes in the original Power series takes its final decisive shape. So he about to be ugly as hell this episode. And with them saying this, he's gonna do something very dark, I would say. And in order for him to do something very dark, do you think that the person that he's doing something very dark to could be his family, or is it that he has now found out the truth about the situation with Snaps and Pop, and he's going to do something very, very dark to them, like some torturing or some shit like that, to the point that folks are gonna be like, maybe have us like, damn, that might, we didn't see him doing nothing that.
That would be good.
So yeah, that's what I think is going on here. He's gonna find out the truth here, because this is what I could possibly see.
Give
Jukebox.
Pop a peanut butter sandwich.
I don't know how he'll be able to figure out that aspect of it, but um, I could see a situation where the family ends up finding out the truth before Kanan, and Kanan not gonna believe them, but something's gonna happen that he's gonna be like, damn, that is off. That let me go ahead and look into this, and then he's gonna find out, damn, that is the truth. Or it could be that he does something dirty to his family. Like this could be the episode he does something that ends up getting Marvin taken off the tape. think that's definitely a possibility to be put out there. I hear what bull crap? What's going on? What am I missing?
That's what I was wondering.
He's one of Tommy's and Gold's most trusted corner boys, as they described him. Well,
That's about Jay Bugs, and
yeah, that's Jay Bull's description that he's saying. Cannon and Breeze burning up Vio Russo's body to get rid of the evidence. Oh, is that the bullshit you talking about? That nigga done said that a couple times already.
it's feasible. I always wanted Stefano to go in the furnace, but I don't think that's not the furnace. I don't think that's
So
the furnace.
going back to episode 4, right? Really quickly. You mentioned that, how in episode 2 they were mentioning all those people.
Hmm.
Stefano, Snaps Pop, Breeze Cannon. And then the next well, actually in episode 4, they're just saying Kanan and Breeze's operation.
Hmm.
So you're implying that possibly Stefano or something like that may have been taken out at this point. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, even by episode 4, possibly.
Yeah. And we gotta keep in mind it's only 8 episodes, so they gotta take these people out quicker than they usually do. And yeah, I think 100% Rock is going to be the one to get him. It just makes the most sense, in my opinion. In fact, this is probably the image of her taking Stefano out right here. Oh, you're saying the fact that he's saying Jay Boots is Roller? That's the bullshit? I don't think Jay Boots is Roller. I'm going to say that right now because the ages don't match. According to what they gave us the description for the Jay Boots guy, it seems as if he's closer to Ghost and Tommy's age. And Roller isn't close to Ghost and Tommy's age. Roller got to be at least 7 years minimum, I would say, younger than Ghost and Tommy. Because Ghost kept referring to him as a kid. Even Tasha referred to him as a boy. Like when Roller was dead, she came up to Ghost and was like, "I keep thinking about how Roller being dead. I know you love that boy." See, and keep in mind, Tasha was 30 at that point. So the fact that Tasha is referring to him as a boy, Roller is probably like 22 years old on Power. probably 25 at the absolute oldest. But I would say probably younger than that. So yeah, with that being said, I would say no. I don't think it's him. Yeah, Ghost referred to him and Kane and them as kids when they were actually kids though, nigga. That only makes Hey, Tony Montana, you be saying a lot of low IQ shit, bro. I'm just letting you know, man. Like when he said, because I already know exactly what scene you're talking about. You're talking about when you're. I can give you the exact episode. You're talking about episode 406 of the original Power when he referred to them both as kids. He said we were kids, Kay, trying to make moves. We were innocent, and Kanan said, "I would never innocent. You need it." But he was actually referring to a point where they were actually kids. So of course he referred to them as kids, nigga. They were young then. Also keep in mind that the ages of Canaan and them has changed in raising Canaan. Like probably initially, they probably had ghosts not that much younger than Canaan, but then they changed it. Keep in mind, for Ghost ID in season one said he was born in 70, what was it, 74. We know that's not true, 100%. Because in Raising Canaan, Canaan is born in 75. But yeah, he was referring to Rolla as a kid. Canaan referred to in season five, he referred to Ghost as a kid. The reason why is because Ghost is like at least 5 years younger than him. So before you get ready to say, "Oh, so why did Ghost talk about them being kids?" Keep in mind, I tell people this all the time. Courtney Kemp has already said that she didn't know they were doing a spinoff until after season four. So pretty much everything that happened in season four and beyond probably is not going to line up with a lot of the things we see in the the prequels. Yeah. So what you just said, I already don't address that. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a lot of stuff that happened in original Power. Like I said, if it happened before season five, you can rule it out as it might not be accurate no more. Some of it, like I'm pretty sure they're gonna try their best to keep it together with a lot of the things that has happened and it was said in the original Power, but for certain things, they're gonna change it to make it match what they got going on. And one of them is 100% the ages of the characters. That's something that definitely changed.
But when was it season two when Kanan showed up and made the comment about seeing his mom?
The mug is stupid. Hey, I remember that shit. I do remember that shit. He said that nigga was a cop. I'm like, bro, there's no way in hell Breeze is a cop. You're out of your fucking mind. Hey, I sure forgot about that shit. Some fans still going by Ghost being born in 70. Yeah, I know SG. I because it was a couple of people was coming at me, and I had to. That's when I had to put out that the ages of all the characters video to debunk a lot of the bullshit that they were saying. And matter of fact, it was Fair Play's crew that was saying some some shit that didn't make any fucking sense. Talking about the 74. Like this nigga made and this ain't me trying to throw shots at him, but I'm just saying, like you remember he was saying that Ghost was older in class like Zeke. I'm like, bro, Ghost is way too smart for him to not know that. Zeke was dumb as a box of rock. So you can pull that out with him. There's no way Ghost didn't know. The thing is that the ages has been changed. And you got to keep in mind, Sasha Penn has already said that Ghost and Tommy at this point are very young. We know that Kanan was born in 75, so that means there's no way Ghost was born in 74 because Kanan is older than Ghost. How the hell you gonna be raised by somebody that's younger than you? Make that make sense. Kanan going to meet a Ghost at he's going to meet Ghost at 17/18 in season 5 at the diner, shaking his hand. Crank isn't Ghost. Ghost and Tommy are most likely 13 to 15 right now in 92. So they're definitely not 15. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Now the part of you saying him meeting Ghost and Tommy around 17, 18, that could be a possibility. Him meeting around 18. But yeah, there's no way Ghost is 15 at this point. If Kanan was born in 75, then Ghost was born in 1980. So in 96, Ghost was 16 and Kanan was 21. You saying Kanan was a kid at 21? You still dumb as fuck, bro. Like I was trying to get away from saying you dumb as fuck, but now I'm gonna say it. You dumb as fuck.
Who
Because
don't?
this nigga Tony Montana. Yes, Ghost was born in 1980. Yes, in 1996, he met Breeze. We know that. And yes, Kanan would have been 21 at that. You dumb fuck. I just told you that everything that happened in season 4 of the original Power and beyond and before doesn't matter anymore. It could be changed because they didn't know they were doing a spinoff. That's the reason why Ghost was said to be born in 74 in season 1, but now his age has changed to 1980, like you just said. So if he's born in 1980, now he's younger, much younger than Kanan. I just told you in season 4 they had it as if they were close to around the same age. Keep in mind when Kanan was talking to Tariq about how they grew up, he was saying when the police would show up, Ghost would be gone before we even noticed they were gone. Notice that they were coming. So that way the police is just settled for us. Keep in mind, he also said we were selling Fat Alberts for our uncles when I was 11. All of that, none of that happened in Raising Canaan. Canaan didn't even get into the game until 15. So my point is, all of that has changed. You freaking clown! Like you can't call nobody a low IQ off something you don't understand. Excuse me. You're right. There's nothing wrong with getting a theory wrong. We all get them wrong. No, we're not in the writers' room. We haven't seen the shit yet. So that's wrong. I'll never attack you for saying a theory that you have. But like when I'm telling you what it is, and then like I'm putting the math in front of you, damn. And you trying to tell me I'm low IQ for something that I know for sure I know what I'm talking about on because you can just simply add it up. That's when you know Ghost and Tommy is 3 years younger than Kanan. Tommy was 100% seen in season three. He had the number four beeper. Plus plus we saw Tommy name on the wall and Kate name was in the end credits. All of that is accurate except the 3 years part. And we don't know 100% that was Tommy, but I even said on my channel before that I mean it makes sense because the number four, the Tommy being on the wall, the lady being cast as Kate in the same episode, and also there was an image of Tommy being younger on episode 301 of the original Power that looked just like that little kid, white kid that we saw in the episode of Raising Canaan. So all of that makes sense. However, the 3 years doesn't. And here's the reason why them saying them 3 years doesn't make sense. It doesn't where it doesn't quite add up. Keep in mind, Ghost. We already know that Ghost and Tommy's age, and Angela. Angela left when she was around 15, right? So if Ghost and Tommy was around, Ghost, Tommy, and Angela was around 15 in 96, and let's just say Ghost's birthday could have came and Angela's hadn't. So let's say Ghost was 16 in 96, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's 16 in 96, that pushes him to 1980. That means he's born in 1980. Kanan is born in 75. So that means Kanan is 5 years older than Ghost. There's no way it can be 3 years. That's why I told you when you said he's anywhere between 13 to 15 years old right now. I was like, there's no way he's 15. This nigga the market. No, no, Tony. I didn't call you dumb for theories. I tell people all the time, don't ban nobody, don't time nobody out for a theory. Anybody can have their own theory. Everybody has crazy, wild theories that turns out to be wrong. It's the things that you were saying that has no chance of being right. And I'm telling you how, and you're not understanding. And you tried to call me low IQ because you didn't understand. That's the reason why I called you dumb. But you know what? I'll take that. I'll take it back. I shouldn't have called you dumb. My apologies. But I'm just saying, it's not just your theory. It's that I'm putting math in your the equation, and I'm showing you proof of how it doesn't make any sense. We seen a little boy in Raising Canaan who matches Tommy description. Yeah, So Raising Canaan episode 304, I want to say it was. It was 304 or it's 303. I want to say it was 304. There when Canaan and Famous was selling the weed business, he was handing out walkie talkies to some people, and it was a little white boy. And the reason why a lot of people suspect that kid to be Tommy is because he was wearing the same attire as, like I said, of a younger picture that Greg Knox had on his wall of Tommy. It was a mug shot. The shirt, the shirt looked very similar. The haircut was similar. He gave the little white kid the number four. Tommy has a tattoo of the number four on his arm. Tommy's name was spray painted on the walls while Rock was walking with the investor for the salon that she was planning on purchasing. And also, the lady that was with the guy that Lou beat up in that episode, redhead, name was Kate. It was all in the same episode. So I think we have a good reason, and also keep this in mind that they said Tommy was the only white boy in the neighborhood. We so happen to get one white boy in the neighborhood. Now, I know some people could say that Paul was in the neighborhood as well, but Paul was a grown ass man, so he probably wasn't talking about adults. He probably was talking about kids that were their age.
I don't know what y'all call a little boy, because that white person, I didn't see it as a little boy or even 12.
I agree with you. That's what I always said when it comes to that. I said everything else lines up. The only problem is the age doesn't look right. Like he doesn't look like he's an 11, 12-year old or even potentially 13-year old kid. He doesn't look like that.
Now this tattoo y'all talking about, I never knew about a tattoo.
You said what about the tattoo?
What about it? That's what I'm asking.
So Tommy has a tattoo of the number four on his arm.
Okay.
And Kanan ended up handing a walkie-talkie that was said that had the number four on it to that white boy.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're making connections that Tommy is linked to, the number four. I'm like that. So hey,
Well, I think the spray paint was an Easter egg, but I never got into the crank and the whiteboard theory.
you said what?
I say I can see this spray paint being the name Tommy being spray painted
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
Easter egg, but I never got into the crank and the whiteboard
And
thing.
then keep in mind that Tommy does the graffiti because he talked about it in the original Power, and he actually did it in the original Power. So
Now, what I really thought they should have made the wiry kid be James St. Patrick.
yeah, a
The
lot of
kid
people
that found
initially
famous
thought that
body.
was
Because as soon as I saw that scene, that's what I was thinking. Because of the way
facts.
he was running,
Same with
they
me.
made a point of how he was running, and he was stealing beer. And we
Hmm.
know Jamie was alcoholic.
And so it is dad. So you could say that he was getting it for his dad or he was getting it for himself.
Yeah.
OG Power season 5, episode 8, Kanan said to Tariq that him, Ghost, and Tommy was around Tariq age when they ran the streets together. Tariq was about 16, 17 in season 5. He was actually around 15, but so that's not right. How do I know that he was around 15? Because his birthday was in that same season. And when he was driving in the car with Tommy, and Tommy asked him, Your old man never put you behind the wheel before? And Tariq replied, no, I'm not old enough to drive yet. So therefore, there's no way he was 16. Also, you can just add up the years because 2000 season 5 was what 2018. 2019 was season 6, but you got to keep in mind that it was two parts of season 6. So the first part, Tariq was 16. The second part, he was 17. Because the first part came out into 2019. The second part came out 2020. So he was 17. And keep in mind, he turned 18 in 2021, season 1 of Ghost.
How did we get on this?
I don't even remember, bro. But, hey, I have no idea. Who you think a better actress, Nia Long or Taraji Henson? That's
Correct me if
oh
I'm wrong. The character, that's hard to say because the characters they play are so different.
yeah, that's what I was thinking about, literally. Because typically Taraji plays that angry black woman type role, and Nia is more so of a lover girl type. That's typically the role. She's the girl next door type cast. So they're two different type of actors.
What
So
was the name? What was the name of that last movie Taraji did for Tyler?
I don't remember it, but it was cool. It was a pretty cool. But she still was the same typical role even in that one.
Um, it was a one-word title. Oh, what was it? Somebody in the chat gonna put it up there.
Yeah, that's true too. Berserk. Yeah, he had his arm wrapped up like he's been fighting. And keep in mind, Tommy told Holly in the first season that he used to get into a fight every day.
Oh, Straw. That was it. Straw. I don't know why that movie had me cracking up.
SGA Sports Talk. What's good, man? That folk
Yeah,
been
I'm
on
thinking about.
SGA.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Straw. That's the one I'm thinking about. That.
SSG Corey, are you speaking to me? And I would assume not because I already said to return 18 and goes. So I'm assuming you're not talking to me.
What comment you talking about?
It's a comment where he says Tariq turned 18 in Power Book 2 Season 1. And then he followed up and said, remember, he had a birthday. I was like, and I mean, yeah, I already said that. Big Graham knew who Kanan was, and he had a type of interaction with Kanan or was in any scenes with Kanan, but yet he knew who Kanan was. He was. We saw Big Graham season 3, episode 5, standing next to Pancho. So I'm gonna say this. I don't think Graham knew Kane. And I'm gonna tell you why. Um, because I think I already know exactly what episode you're alluding to. The reason why you think they knew each other, and that does make sense. But I'm gonna tell you why I think they did it. The episode you're thinking is the episode 406, and that's the episode when Ghost and Tommy, I mean Ghost and Kanan robbed Tommy's flop, and they tied Graham up. So in episode 407, when Kanan untied him, he told Tommy it was that guy Kanan, and Tommy was like, "Kanan's still alive." So the key to it is he said it was that guy Kanan. It was that guy Kanan. So him saying it was that guy is that's the key. It's telling you he don't know who he is, but he knows of him. Because if he knew him, he would say it was Kanan. He would just simply say it was Kanan. Because Tommy obviously knows Kanan, and he would be implying that he knows Kanan. But the fact he said it was that guy Kanan means that Tommy must have shown them who Kanan is. Let's keep in mind the episode prior, for 2 episodes prior, actually, 405. No, that was 406. Yeah, 406. When Julio was speaking to Dre, he was telling Dre he saw him talking to Kanan, and he said, Tommy already told us to shoot to kill if we seen them. So keep in mind, Julio didn't know Kanan either. Julio just met Kanan in season 2. But before then, he had no clue who he was. So if Julio didn't know who Kanan was, Graham damn sure didn't either. Would you say Taraji Henson got more range in acting than Neil? It's kind of crazy. I kind of want to lean towards yes, because like I said, typically I'm trying to think of another role of Nia where she's not the pretty girl. The pretty girl the girl that everybody's trying to get. She's typically always that in every movie that I can think of and show. So Taraji, she does have a couple of movies where she's not just the angry black one. So I guess I would say she has a little more range based off what we've seen. So I just said, did bro just say a young brains? Young brains is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. The fact that that he thought of brains is crazy. And you know what's funny is that it would be hilarious if he turns out to be right. That's who that nigga turned out. Because if you really think about it, if you go look at the little young wiry kid, and then you look at brains, they do kind of look alike. It'll be wild if he land that and be, and be right. We'll have to give Berserk some big props for landing that, because that is crazy. Yeah, Brain stole the bottle, and in season 4 of OG Power, when Kanan, Brains, and Tariq was hitting licks, Kanan said Brains looking for a bottle to steal. Hey, that's an interesting point, my boy. He landed. Hey, he putting them dice together. Not saying that I'm 100%, on board that that's who it is, but it could be. It ain't nothing that I know, information that I know of to say that it can't be him. They wouldn't give Brand a young character. He was not even that. Yeah, he's not. He wasn't important. I give you that. What's up, my boy, Spencer Valley? What's good? You trying to come up? Hold up, let me drop the link.
Yeah, somebody was trying to come up for a while.
Spencer Valley. My bad. I just now saying it. When I be on my rants, sometimes I don't be looking at the chat like that. Y'all be talking a lot. Y'all in the cyber, what's good, my boy? Called me on
What,
a power line.
what about what synopsis we on? Because I got to I'm about to go to bed.
Oh shit, my bad. Hold up. Yeah, all them, all them debates came up about it, kind of threw us off track.
Y'all be getting personal.
Cause bro, like you're not gonna when it comes to the power history, I'm like the powerologist. You're not gonna catch me slipping when it comes to that shit. So you can stop trying. But what's good, man?
What's good, Jay, man? What's up with y'all?
Just going over these episode synopsis. We ended up getting off course, but yeah,
No, it's all good. I've been tuned in, man. I ain't missed nothing, man. It's been going crazy since the trailer dropped.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I've been waiting on this shit, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I appreciate that, disciple. Yeah. But yeah, so let's get back to episode 6 real quick. Like I said, we got off course. Let me pull up that. Damn, Rock, get your sex ass off here. I didn't pull you up. I don't know how she popped up.
Man, rock.
All right, there we go.
Can you move that stuff out the way?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, that's the latest one we was on. So yeah, basically, in conclusion to episode 6, I believe that this is when he finds out Snaps and Pop was Cap. They was Cap and Pap. They was lying their ass out. And
Who you think might be telling them though?
I believe so. My theory of this is I believe that Jukebox is gonna tell him initially, and he's not gonna believe her off the rip. But then some more stuff is gonna take place that's gonna make him question it, and then he's gonna go ahead and dig into it himself and
I
find
think
out.
I think he slowly know. Not I ain't gonna try to chime in too much, but you remember the part when Snaps and Pops and them was like, "We just gonna use Unique for a quick moment, and then we gonna get rid of him." You remember you
Uh,
heard that little sound, that
right?
noise, and Kanan looked at him kind of funny, like what? And
Yeah.
I think that made him think like y'all gonna get rid of him because it made the same sound when Breeze was like, "They called me Breeze," and it went dun. Like it did the same thing, and he kind of looked at him. So I think he gonna slowly start. I wonder is that who getting burnt up by him and Breeze?
Could be. I know a couple people said that, and like I've been telling people, I believe Breeze is gonna 100% be down with taking out his uncle and auntie because for one, they're gonna be causing trouble to his business. And keep in mind, we hear him say in the trailer, "Now that Rock your mama's out the game,
Everybody got
everybody
to get
else
out the way.
exactly, including his uncle and auntie."
And it might, and to be honest, Jay, it might not even be. I don't even really think it's his blood uncle and auntie. You know how you be in the streets and be like, "That's my uncle." I don't really
Yeah,
feel like that's their real blood nephew. I just think that's like somebody they call like that's our nephew. Like he's sharp and he hustle and that's they just look. I don't because the way he was like only these old heads call me that. I don't really think that's his real family.
well, it could be some truth to that.
I could be
But
wrong.
the
I just
fact,
been itching to get on there. I be watching this shit too much, man. This shit consume me, man. My girl, but that's all I talk about. My wife pregnant. I be ready for this shit to drop. I'm like, man, I need June 12th to
hey,
come, but I be
hey, that's
yeah.
what this channel came from when I first started. My girl be doing the same damn thing. She
They
stay
be
trying
looking
to
at
get
me like I'm
she
crazy. Like,
cracking she be cracking jokes on me and all kind of shit. Talk about this nigga
yeah.
know the second ghost gonna blink on episode 4 of season 5.
Hey, you know what somebody told me? They said y'all don't make no sense what y'all doing because all y'all do is sit up and talk about the show and what's gonna happen. She was like, just watch the damn show. I was like, man, you just don't get this shit, man.
Nah, you don't get it
You
exactly.
don't get it. You don't get this shit.
But look, reason why, as far as the uncle and auntie situation, I think one of them is his blood auntie, because the fact that that he referred to him as Brian. More than likely, if it was just
Yeah,
somebody who was his homie, like that he just a young cat that he grew up to know, he probably would have referred to him as Breeze as
it's
well.
probably pops. It's probably the female. It's probably the lady.
A lot of people saying that they believe that Pop is the one that's actually related. Could be, but yeah, though. So yeah, he did. I think that's gonna what you said about how he looked at him once they said that about Unique. I think that's gonna play a part later. But right now he's raging. He's a spoiled brat right now. This nigga not thinking straight. He's so mad at his mama that he's not even using his brain to think about a lot of this shit don't make sense.
Right.
And then but like I said, but once I think like I believe it's gonna be jukebox spark his brain a little bit. He's gonna start to put two and two together and be like, damn, they did try to slight Unique, and and they are, some slick ass conniving motherfuckers. They might have did do that shit.
But what episode is this on right here that you breaking down? Is it seven
Six.
or six?
This
Six.
six. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm about to get ready to pull up 7 now. All right, so this is 7. It says everything regarding the Thomas family and their crumbling empire is pushed to a breaking point. So typically with these shows, with Power, when it comes to these synopses, towards the end, they ain't gonna too much give you shit. They don't, cause like they gonna give you some bullshit. Like episode 8 description, once we finally get to it, the description gonna say the end. Probably. They ain't gonna
The
tell you
end. That's crazy.
shit.
Now, the word here is everything.
Everything. Yep.
Everything.
Everything falls apart.
So this is basically, letting us know that like Rock and the Thomas family has lost the war.
So Rock make it to the end then, basically.
I believe so yeah, absolutely. I don't think Rock is dying, period. That's what I'm leaning towards. I think she's gonna make it out and she's gonna leave.
Do you think she go to jail though? Man, there's so many damn
She,
questions about this. This
she
shit will
probably
drive you
does.
crazy.
She
But I
probably
wonder
does.
what for though. What would she go to jail for? Or was Kanan
So
just lying about seeing his mom?
now he probably so look,
Cause he a
that
lying
goes
ass nigga. You gotta remember Kanan a lying ass nigga. I just came from seeing my mom. Nigga
yeah.
smiling. Nigga didn't even come from nowhere. Like they didn't show nothing about him going to a grave site, a jail cell. That's why that's tricky. Cause Kanan be lying his ass off.
So
When they wrote that line, Jay, did they know they was gonna have a spinoff?
I was just about to bring it up. I'm glad you said it.
Mm,
So we got to keep in mind that was episode 202 of the original Power. So
okay.
they could have easily have changed that. So that's why I tell people you can't, a lot of the things that happened before season 5, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. It could have
Okay.
changed.
I mean, because if you think about it, Raising Canaan is really the first book, right? If it was in order.
Right.
All right.
Because Kanan even said he was doing something on the streets for his uncles.
Yeah, he said he was selling Fat Alberts
Saying
a bunch of miles per hour when
That
he
was
was
no,
11.
but I
so
think he
that
said
that
him and
didn't that
Ghost and
didn't
them.
happen
Yeah,
either.
he did.
Yeah, and he never he never really even sold for his uncles like that.
That's what I was gonna say. When was he selling for? He never was.
Yeah, that
And
never
he
happened.
wasn't. And he said he was running up 100 miles up and down the block with Ghost and Tommy and them. So what uncle was he selling for at that time? If especially if Lou gonna be gone quick, which we all seem like Lou. It's funny, man. Some of that it don't make sense or maybe we gotta dig deeper. I don't know.
No, is what all it is that storyline changed.
Okay, for sure.
Yep. So yeah, all that changed, and now the storyline is he started when he was 15, and he's not going to meet Ghost or Tommy until anywhere between ages 18, 19, around that
So
range.
So just to cut in real quick, y'all don't think Ghost and Tommy gonna even pop up in these, not even in the last episode
I
in
believe,
the
I
scene.
believe, I do. I think they're showing up to the last episode.
Last episode, damn near the last scene. It might just
Yeah,
be when everything
yeah,
over. You gonna see Kanan walking up and see a white boy and Ghost or something. Just one little interaction to be enough to hold us over the origins.
yeah. I think it's gonna be something like that. But yeah, so I think Rock is gonna lose everything in this episode, and who knows? It's possible. Because keep going back to episode 6 really fast.
Jay, y'all still there?
Yeah, you can't hear me. Yeah, I don't think you can hear me. But going back to episode 6 really fast for the chat, because I know I just said that I believe Kanan is going to figure out that Snaps and Pop and them was capping this episode. His retaliation may not happen until episode 7. Like, he don't did all that damage and stuff like that. And then he figures out, damn, these ugly ass niggas done played me. And then it's too late at this point. His uncles are gone. He done broke his mama heart. And he might, I think at that point, Rock is gonna be like, I don't want nothing to do with you no more, kind of. You know, you can, you know, I'm not gonna bother you no more. You don't bother me, and we just go our separate ways. I could see a situation like that happening with them. I believe Ghost and Tommy is already on the show, but if we follow the storyline, it's Tommy started off selling, which we saw a white boy working for Kanan. For Ghost, he was brought into the gang. So, are you implying that Tommy was selling for him before Ghost was? Yeah. So we talked about. So we talked about the people that were shaking hands, and that's a possibility, I suppose. But it just looks like that the person whose hand he was shaking looks a little older. It just you can't obviously you can't see no face or nothing, but like that the arm and the hand looks older. So unless that's a unless this is after the time jump and they're showing the older, like teenage version of Ghost, more than likely that's not it. But it could be the teenage version. I mean, you could be right with that, and this would depends on if they decide to keep the storyline of how Ghost beat up the boys that was picking on Tommy when they were kids. Also, here's the thing that doesn't match your theory. Like I said, I'm not shooting it down because I don't have concrete evidence, but I would say more than likely that's not how it's gonna go. And the part that kind of goes against this theory would be Force. So in Force episode, what is that? I want to say 306. It was when Kate sent them that letter and they was reading it, and then remember Tommy gave the story talking about when he was 8 or 9. Ghost Kate tried to stop drinking. He said right before Ghost moved in with us. So the fact that Ghost and Tommy already knew each other at the age of 8 or 9, the likelihood of Tommy selling and then Kanan going and getting them and bringing them into the game is very slim because Tommy and Ghost already knew each other. And the fact that they were already like brothers then, if Tommy was selling, Ghost was selling. It's no way more than likely. Like I said, I just can't see a situation where he was doing it and then later on Kanan discovers him when they already were living with each other or already knew each other. Jukebox or Marvin will eliminate Crank and Primo for the introduction of. You already said that 100 times, my boy, but okay, I got you. I believe they're the teenagers, Ghost and Tommy. It could be. Now that, like I told you, that part there, I can see a possibility of it if it's the teenage version. He's still talking about them two niggas. He was working for Katie when he was doing carrier routes with Pop. As Rock leaving Queens, Tremont could eliminate Rock just like Rock was gonna eliminate Symphony, however didn't. So um going back to because I remember getting it how Liv had the video, and I'm not sure if Fair Play may have had this too. Of it looked like they were saying this was the last scene of season 5 of Rock getting into a cab or something like that, driving off. And keep in mind, this is now years ago, at least 1 year, possibly 2. I want to say this is probably 2 years ago now, where you know they were showing this scene, and we seen what looked like to be Rock getting in the car. So it could be a situation where they end up leaving and getting to where Rock ends up leaving and going wherever she goes. And keep this in mind, like I told people, Rock Patina Miller, aka Rock, was a part of the Ghost season 4 cast. Like we saw that at an event when it was they had some kind of it was like an award show or something like that, where they were introducing the cast, and they said Patina Miller. Like they said the entire cast for season 4 of Ghost. They named all the actors and actresses that was attached. Lastly, they named Patina Miller. And me and my boy CG was like, why the hell is Patina Miller being introduced as part of the cast of season 4? Because we were during that time thinking that Rock might show up as the older version of herself and might potentially seek revenge on Tariq because he ended up being behind the death of her son. So keep in mind, this is way before even season 4 of Raising Kanan came out. So we didn't know that, how bad things were going to get between Rock and Kanan. However, this could have still been initially a part of the plan of season 4. Maybe Rock was supposed to show up as the cliffhanger. But after the show was canceled, keep in mind they rewrote the show. So they probably wrote that part out like, okay, Rock is no longer, gonna be the cliffhanger. She's not gonna be a part of it at all. We're gonna write it like this. Monet is dead, Noma's dead, Kane's on the run, etc., etc. They ended that way. So now they could potentially put it into the loophole that Rock shows up in Legacy, which also gives me a very interesting theory that if Rock shows up in Legacy, Ghost can show up in Legacy. Both of them could show. Now, I got a video coming for that to put all the information together. I haven't done it yet because I ain't got everything together yet, and I just haven't took the time to put it together yet. But yeah. Big Graham name was tagged in season 3, episode 3 with Tommy name. Tommy and Stack G. Oh boy. Ghost don't get that name until he meets Bree, so the G don't stand for Ghost. Well, I head to this. Well, that actually was the last one. Yeah, episode 7 synopsis is the last one. So yeah, I'm at that 2 hour mark now, which is about how long I was planning on being on here, anyways. But anybody got any last little follow up questions and stuff we want to add in before I jump off? Shamik Moore getting recast in Origins. I mean, I seriously doubt it. I just think that doesn't make much sense. Like, why only have Shamik play him for Raising Canaan and then don't have him play it for Origins? It just kind of doesn't make sense to me. Like, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be on the negotiation table. Like, they're going to tell them, hey, we got plans to. Well, I'll say this. It depends on Yeah, because the fact that the episode was eight episodes, the Lionsgate situation, they had to have already been aware of that. So yeah, I would say the likelihood of it is slam because I don't know why you would want to have one actor only do 8 episodes and then let another actor come and portray. Especially, let's just say Shamik just absolutely bodies this role, like he kills it, and then they got to cast another actor to be him in Origins, and let's just say he underachieves. He doesn't hold up. He don't live up to the standards of what Shamik did. That would be a huge letdown for the fans. Nobody would would want to see that. You don't typically when it comes to those situations, you don't purposely, try to replace somebody. Like you try to avoid you typically want to keep the same. So yeah, if he dies and the and if Shamik is done with it after raising Canaan, then more than likely Breeze won't show up. Tina Miller was at Book Two Gold's award show because Mary J. Blige was there. They used Patina Miller as a marketing tool. What, nigga? That don't even make sense. But you're gonna have to make that make sense to me. But let me read this shit again. Patina Miller was at Power Book 2 Ghost Award show because Mary J. Blige was there. What does Mary J. Blige have to be in there has to do with that, first off? Then you said they used Patina Miller as a marketing tool. I don't think they needed Patina Miller to be a marketing tool, especially like you saying because Mary J. Blige is there. That's not what's not connected with me because Mary J. Blige is big all on her own. She don't need Patina. Oh, you said wasn't. Okay, so you okay. Now you're adding was it. Now that makes sense. Okay. So I don't think that's what it was. Cause they still announced her name. I mean people know, people knows that she's attached to the show. So that doesn't make sense still. That's the reason that she was there. They said the cast of Power Book 2 Ghosts, they named all of the actors and actors, including Mary J. Blige, and then at the very end said Patina Miller. That don't make any sense. Like I said, I believe originally she was going to be a part of it. They rewrote it. Bro, that like I said, that still doesn't make sense to use Patina for a marketing tool. To say she's part of a cast that she's not. No, nigga. And then keep in mind, if I'm not mistaken, it was plenty of other actors that was there too. If I believe that same event, Lorenz Tate was there too. Why not throw Lorenz in there? Lorenz is bigger than Patina Miller is. They didn't throw him in there, and 50 Cent was there. That just doesn't make sense, my boy. Like I said, I'm the only son fan, Yeah, man, There's a few of us out there, but yeah, you know. outside of people that live in Phoenix, you typically don't find it. That's true. Jason Finch, why are you mentioning Tasha? All right, though, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Hey, this nigga doing. Using the hell out of them filters. All right. Tasha Wood on Power. I'm still not getting what you're saying, my boy. Like, what? Last question: can someone be a Shea fan and also be a Kobe/Jordan fan? Ah, I mean, I suppose you can, since Shea is um fan of Kobe, and he gave Jordan a lot of praise as well. Said he monitored his games from them, but I would like to say that if Kobe was still alive to see it, and if you was to ask Michael Jordan, they wouldn't be a fan of all the damn flopping. I'll say that shit. Her attending the awards is not the same thing as her being named as part of the cast, dude. That's what you're not getting. He had a script that he was reading from that was saying the cast of Power Book 2 Ghost, and Patina Miller's name was on it. Last question: Power Origins get 6 seasons? No, I would say no, especially with as many um, episodes as being added to it. Absolutely not. More than likely, it's probably not going past 4 seasons. However, I'm starting to think they're going to keep. It might even be 3 seasons, but how they end up doing it is they give you 9 episodes. You got to wait for a while. Give you 9 more, and keep that trend going on. That way, they only do 3 seasons as far as the payment situation, so that the suspense, the expense of the show doesn't rise when they get to season 4, but they can still give you the same amount of seasons, like as if you getting 6 seasons, but it was only 3. Because I 50 said on like I don't know if it was a tweet or I think he probably posted on his Instagram that Origins is going to be on our screen for 5 years. So 5 years, he could be indicating that 5 seasons. But in my opinion, more than likely, I think he's saying that it's just going to stretch it out for 5 seasons. I mean, it could be like that. Who knows? Which that would be wonderful. if they did 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, you know, for 5 seasons. Or they could do 18, then kind of drop them some and still give us 5 seasons. Either way, I mean, you know, this could be the situation too. People keep this in mind. Going back to the Breeze situation, it could be that only the first season is going to have 18 episodes. And they only did that so that Shamik can knock all of his stuff out in one season. And then like all the other seasons afterwards are going to be the standard 10 episodes. That could be a thing. Anyways, though, y'all, I'm about to go ahead and head up off here, though. Appreciate everybody stopped through. Had a good little time, and I'm gonna definitely have to catch y'all on the next one. Tomorrow live definitely gonna be NBA because you know we got a big game tomorrow, so I'll have an NBA live tomorrow. But yeah, the next Power Jack we shall see.